Is this the loudest motorcycle horn you've ever heard?
Yeah.
Ready? Hold the baby.
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah. Great.
Isn't that crazy? That is the original factory horn. There may be a louder motorcycle horn out there, but I've never heard it. I still am just flabbergasted by that. So as you likely gathered, I picked up a new ride here recently. About a month ago or so, I sold a different motorcycle that I had that was, we'll just say, a bit less practical, a bit less suited for commuting. And I picked up this bad mamma jamma for the purpose of getting some good gas mileage. It's not exactly what I had in mind when I went out searching for a motorcycle. I don't know if this seems like it fits to you or not. I'm not so much of the sport bike guy these days, but riding this thing every day, back and forth to work every day, vice the F-250, has allowed me to reduce my fuel budget by about $140 each month. Yeah, that makes it a lot more comfortable. Makes me a lot more inclined to ride something even though it doesn't fit me 100%. And with all that said, I really am growing quite fond of the bike. It's a nice riding bike. It's a lot of fun to ride. If there are any of you out there interested in more details about just the model specifically, the K series bikes, I did quite a bit of research on them before I bought this bike. So if you're looking for info, let me know that in the comments, and I'll be happy to answer any questions that I can, or even put together another video with some of that information on there. But that's not what I'm here to talk about right now. When I got this bike home, I started scrutinizing it, and I found this weird wear pattern on the front tire. It's almost as though it's worn more on one side than it is the other. Now, I've never ridden a motorcycle consistently enough to develop wear patterns on tires, so it kind of freaked me out. My first thought was of a car that you start having weird wear patterns on the front tires. Well, what's that indicate to you? Either you have a serious misalignment or you have something out of whack that's causing that weird wear pattern. Well, how are you going to have something out of alignment on a motorcycle? There's only one tire. So I did some research into it, and I found some pretty cool stuff that I'd have never come up with on my own. And since it took me quite a bit of research to find that, I thought that I would share it with you in case you're scratching your head trying to figure out what's up with the weird wear patterns. Now, the first thing that I read when I started digging into this was a theory that evidently a lot of people subscribe to, and that's the fact that the reason for the disproportionate wear, more on the left-hand side than on the right-hand side of the tire, is the crowning of the road. Here in America, we ride on the right-hand side of the road, right? The road is higher in the center, at the center line, than it is on the shoulders, built that way to allow for the water to run off of the road. So that would seem to support that you're going to have more wear as you're going down the road. The road is higher to your left side than it is to your right, so you're going to wear more on that left shoulder, as it were, not quite the shoulder, but shoulder of your tire. Seems to make sense, right? Or does it? Let's see how much of an angle that crown would have to support this, to make up for that disproportionate wear. I'm at about 25 degrees here. Let me show you what 25 degrees looks like. Have you ever seen a road that's crowned that much? I mean, there might be a logging road out there somewhere, but I've never seen a road crowned that much. There's also some math that goes along with how much rise there would have to be between the shoulder and the center line of the road, how many feet of rise there would have to be, and it's ghastly. So it seemed like a good idea, but it just doesn't work. Here's the theory that makes the most sense to me, and it has to do with something called scuffing. Scuffing is effectively the work that your tire is putting in to keep you on the road. Let's look at it like this. When you're going along straight and level, going straight down the road, you've got gravity pulling you down, and nothing really there's no reason for your tire to leave the road. You're just rolling along. Therefore, that center patch of your tire, it just doesn't wear much. But when you make a turn, not only do you have gravity pulling you down, but you have centrifugal force trying to pull you off of the road. Your tire's trying to slide off of the road. So this patch right here on this shoulder, that's doing a lot of work. There's a lot of work being put in right there, a lot of scuffing to try to keep you from winding up in the weeds. And it turns out that for each person, there is a most comfortable angle of your turn. It depends a lot upon your experience, upon your motorcycle, upon your body size, your body type, and all that other stuff. But you will find that you will develop a particular angle. And it doesn't matter how sharp or gradual the corner is, you will adjust your speed. It turns out you'll adjust your speed so that you typically will hold that angle. So if a person was to turn right or turn left the exact equal amount of time as they go down the road, you would have a very distinct, very even wear on that tire, because you're going to find that angle here and you're going to find that same angle there. Well, then why doesn't it wear evenly? The reason is because here in America, where we ride on the right side of the road, the distance traveled in a right-hand turn is less than if you were traveling this way, making a left-hand turn. It's just the way that it works. Don't believe me? Let's apply some math to this. I got on Google Earth and I found a 90-degree turn on a country road near my house here that I'm familiar with. I measured that with the measuring tool in Google Earth, and I determined that the radius of that was about 340 feet. Making the diameter of that imaginary circle 680 feet. Since circumference equals pi times diameter, thank you, Don Johnson, math teacher Don Johnson, not the Miami Vice guy, the circumference equals 3.14 times 680, which comes out to 2,135.2 feet. Well, we don't need all that since we're only going to be in this turn for 25% of the circle. So we'll multiply that by 25% and we come up with 533.8 feet that we are in this lane turning right as we're going through that corner. I also did some measuring and determined that typically between the center of this lane and the center of that lane is about 12 feet, which adds now 24 feet to this diameter, resulting in a diameter of now 704 feet. Are you believing it yet? So let's apply the same math. Pi times 704 equals 2,210.56. Multiply that by 0.25, and now we'll come out with 552.64 feet traveled while we're going the other way. That's a difference of 18.84 feet. Is how much more distance you're traveling when you're turning left than when you're turning right. Just for giggles, let's figure that out in percentage. 552.64 minus 533.8. We'll divide that by 533.8, and that will result in 0.0349 blah blah blah. So almost 3.5% more distance that you're traveling when you're turning left than when you're turning right. Now you might think that if you go to work one direction and you make right turns on your way to work, and then you come home making left turns on your way home from work, that would even it out, right? Well, no, it doesn't, because anytime
you turn right, you're going to be making less distance than when you turn left. So this 3.5%, you're always, and I don't know if this 3.5% is firm, you know, I don't know the geometry of all turns and corners and such, but as this example, this 3.5% is always going to be acting more on the left shoulder of your tire. Now, is that wear a difference of 3.5%? I don't know. It's hard to tell. I'm sure that there's some sort of gizmo out there to measure it, but regardless of the exact percentage of the difference, now you know why. Now, there's somebody probably out there scratching their head going, why does my back tire wear differently? Why does it wear down more evenly or even more in the center rather than the corners? This one's relatively simple. Your back tire, when you're going straight and level, when you're either speeding up or slowing down using your back tire, you have scuffing that is rather than on the angle like your front tire, it's going to be in that center patch, either forward or backward scuffing. That force is going to go one way or the other, whether you are just shy of peeling out or whether you're slowing down, and that wears in the center of your back tire. So it will be more nearly even, but it will probably be even more flat in the center patch rather than on the shoulders.
I hope I didn't get too nerdy on you. I hope that this made sense. But more than that, I hope that if you're out there riding on two wheels, I hope you're doing it carefully. So thank you for watching. I really appreciate your time. It's Thanksgiving weekend here in America. So if you're thankful for somebody, let them know that you're thankful for them. And I'm here to tell you, I am thankful for you, and I am thankful for your time. I'm thankful that you have chosen to spend a bit of it here. I hope you'll come back. Click the thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. And I look forward to seeing you again soon. Thanks for watching.